My next guest believes that self-care is a revolutionary act. She is author, community organizer, and serial entrepreneur Pamela Michelle Tate, and creator of the Self-Care magazine. Pamela Michelle Tate, welcome to Black Renaissance. It's so good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited that you are here. You know, because your work in the community has touched so many lives as executive director of Black Women Revolt Against Domestic Violence at the center in San Francisco. Now, you say self-care is a revolutionary act. What do you mean by that?
Oh, it really is. It's one of my favorite Audre Lorde quotes, and she's one of my sorority sisters. And so I'm just, I really resonate with that. I think a lot of us really get caught up in thinking about self-care as being selfish. And honestly, when you take care of yourself, it's revolutionary. The world sometimes calls us to take care of everyone else that we neglect to take care of ourselves. And so it's really important to take that step and be revolutionary and take care of you. If you don't take care of yourself, who will?
That is so true. I mean, I am the first one that needs to listen to that advice because I'm taking care of an entire constellation of folks.
Yeah.
Now, when did self-care become such a transformation in your life?
I've needed to do it for years, and I'm going to be very transparent. I didn't start until a few years ago. I was caretaking for my mother full-time, working full-time, all in my mother's house during COVID. And she's no longer with us, but she had breast cancer. And so literally I was her 24/7 attendant, as well as working 24 hours or accessible 24 hours. I'm in domestic abuse services. And, I was taking care of my children. I had one in the dorms. I had one in an apartment in town, and my oldest son and his wife. And I just was taking care of everybody. And
Wow.
woke up one morning and my body said, "You're not getting up."
No. You
And
know,
yeah, I had to really look at that.
yeah, that was a come to Jesus moment, I'm
That
sure.
part. Yeah, it really was.
Now, you've authored 4 books, including A Girl's Journey, There's No Crying in Baseball. Now, you've authored a new one about self-care practices. Can you share a few
Yeah.
tips with us?
I'm sure one of those things is establishing boundaries. Again, that is so important because sometimes if you don't establish boundaries, the people around you are not going to make you
Mhm.
establish boundaries. So if that means at 5:30 p.m. I'm shutting off my computer from work or I'm no
Mhm.
longer answering work calls, let that be your boundary.
Good idea.
If yeah, if it's I'm going to get up and it might require extra discipline on your part. I'm going to get up every morning at 5 a.m. and go to this class at 5:30 a.m. That's something you need to set up for yourself.
Now, you say travel is part of your self-care whenever
Ooh, it,
possible.
it really is.
I
When we
completely
started
agree.
to open, yeah, when we started to open back up from COVID, again, working in the same place that you live while caretaking in that same location, I was a little stir crazy. And so I I specifically dedicated time to myself every month to do something for myself. So I had one trip a month.
Mhm.
I did a couple of things that were staycations. I went to
Oh,
Puerto
wow.
Rico. I went to Aruba. I went to
Nice.
Antigua. I went to Jamaica. Sometimes you just need to get away and get a different environment to get a different perspective. And that's part of my self care.
You've even started a self-care magazine, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Page after
Mm.
page of articles and advice.
Everybody can't afford to do something that costs money. Self care doesn't have to cost a fortune.
Right.
And I wanted to put those thoughts together and provide that gift to other caretakers and business professionals and moms who are busy with children and my community. And Self Care Magazine came about as a result of that.
Well, that's great. And
Yeah.
we all can use that advice. Listen, Pamela, thank you so much for joining us on Black Renaissance. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. I feel the same. I appreciate your time and allowing me to be here.
Be sure and check out Pamela's magazine and start your journey on the road to wellness. Visit theselfcaremagazine.com.